You guys love it so much. So
Oh, we didn't watch it last time though.
okay, we'll watch it at the end. All right. So for today, we're gonna talk about the religions that were happening in ancient India. So there's
Buddhists,
Buddhism.
stuff like that.
Say that again, Don.
Like Buddhists.
Yeah, we're gonna talk about Buddhism and Hinduism, which is it's not it starts with a B. Buddhism. Buddhism. And we're gonna talk about it. So there's no need to ask me about it. So we're gonna go over it. So I'm gonna present my screen.
Okay.
And oh, it connected to my dock cam.
Yep.
That's funny. Okay, that's okay. There's nothing sensitive on my desk that doesn't need to be shared. I was like, how is it connecting to a camera? But I guess that makes sense. All right.
Why is there a picture of the floor right there on your other screen?
So that is my desktop computer, and it's my dock cam. Like it's showing what my dock camera can see. So it's my desk actually.
Wait, do you place that currency when you're...
Is that your desk right now?
That so the second one that's me is my desk, and then you got me up in the front of the classroom up here. So I don't know.
It's kind of
So, yeah.
confusing.
It's okay. Just ignore the other one. It's just so that the kids in the class can see the presentation. Okay? So let's go ahead and go to Google Classroom, and under Social Studies, we have a new assignment called Buddhism and Hinduism. So we're going to learn about the religions of ancient India. Okay. I'm going to open up the PowerPoint a different way. So you guys go ahead and get that PowerPoint opened up and the document.
Okay.
Let's see. How was the dentist? Okay.
Constantly just open it up like Google.
Yeah, you guys can open that. Huh?
What am I gonna do?
Listen. And then tomorrow you can fill it out.
That's a lot of thinking I have to do.
Almost there. Sorry, I did not prepare very well. Did not pull up the PowerPoint before like I normally do.
Because you have to take too long.
Yeah, because you guys are all here now. Too busy. Not what I want.
So you're more busy than you had, than you were when you were here.
Yes. Okay, so there's the PowerPoint. Can we see that?
Yeah.
All right. And then we also on Google Classroom have our Google Slides to go with it.
Oh, yeah. Google Slides.
Mm-hmm. So have both open. So we have our slides that we're going to fill out about the two religions, and we're going to use the PowerPoint that I just opened. Okay. So it's just a following along lesson to learn about it. We'll use it on the test on Friday.
Are we gonna zoom into it?
Yeah, we'll zoom in. Probably can. Yeah. Is that good for you guys? Okay.
That's a little bit better.
So let's go ahead and get started. How are we doing online? You guys finding it, getting it pulled up?
Yeah.
Yoshi, you're not online.
Oh. Sorry.
It's okay. Good? All right. All right. Looks like some of you guys are getting there.
I'm there.
All right. Let's go ahead and look at our PowerPoint then. Start on the first slide here. So Buddhism and Hinduism are two different religions that kind of originated in ancient India. The thing is in the way, I can't read the bottom. So we're going to talk about what they teach as like their values in terms of like how Christianity has its values, things like that. So we're going to talk about how Buddhism and Hinduism have their separate values and how they're different from each other and how they're similar. So it won't work. There you go. Buddhism. We have that it's more of a way of life than it is a religion for the people that practice Buddhism.
What's that?
We're about to explain it. Just
Oh.
listen, Yoshi. Okay. So a way of life means that they're gonna use it to guide everyday life instead of just going on Sunday and stuff. Like they're gonna use it in their everyday life more often than other religions do. Their goal is to reach nirvana, which is the state of perfect happiness and bliss, not the band from the 90s. To reach nirvana, one must follow the Four Noble Truths. 1, life is suffering, which is sad. Number 2, suffering is caused from desire. Number 3, ending those desires will end your suffering. And number 4 is to follow the Eightfold Path. And we'll talk about that as well. So that's our first part. And we need to type that onto our other slides. So I didn't write these down. Life, nirvana, noble truths, suffering, desire, 8. Okay. So we're going to head on over to our PowerPoint and get those typed in. So Buddhism is more of a way of what than religion? Way of life. Yes, Yoshi.
I still up there.
Can you not see?
No, I can't see that far. That's why I asked my mouth if you can go to the
Is that better?
and then go get my eyes checked or something. I'll go get glasses.
Okay, so our first one is way of life. Okay, our next one there. Their life goal is to reach what? What was that called? Nirvana. Basically, like the state of perfect happiness. Like you have achieved everything you wanted to in life and you are perfectly happy. Nothing is ever going wrong in your life. You've reached nirvana. That's what they called it. So there's our first two. It'll be easier to type it out tomorrow. Okay.
Well,
The next one, to reach nirvana, they had to follow the four what? What was that called? Good, the Four Noble Truths. Okay, those
Miss Jones, the other day my mom went to the new Hobby Lobby in
was she in a state of
Flagstaff.
perfect happiness? Nirvana?
She was there for quite a while, is what she
Probably.
told me.
Hobby Lobby is pretty cool. There's a lot of things there. So the first noble truth, life is what?
wait, how did you do that? Suffering.
Suffering. Good. Life is suffering, which is kind of a sad way to think about life. Everybody is suffering, but you know, kind of true.
Yeah.
We all have things that we go through.
How'd you make it all fit together?
What? Which one?
The highlighting part?
The highlighting?
No, not that. Not the highlighting.
Oh, I delete the underlined stuff after. Yep. And then number 2, suffering is caused by what? Anybody? What was suffering caused by? Good, the desire to have something. What if you do it for each? Oh, never mind. Can't do that. And number 3, we already know. Ending desire will end suffering. So if you basically, if you stop desiring everything, your suffering will end. So if you stop desiring to have all the money in the world, your suffering will end because you don't want all the money anymore. That's their concept, at least. And then what's the path? Follow the what path? The eightfold path. Good.
You just gotta type in the number 8.
Yep. We'll talk more about the eightfold path when we get there.
Okay, now I'm going to
Okay, those of you that are online, was that too fast or are you guys good? Keeping up?
I'm good for now.
You good? All right. It was perfect. Good. All right, let's look at our next one then. So we just talked about some Buddhism stuff. Let's talk about, we'll keep going on Buddhism. This is the eightfold path right here. Notice how there's 8 different things. So you have the right view about things, you have the right intentions, you have the right speech, the right actions, the right livelihood, the right efforts, the right concentration, and the right mindfulness. So basically you do all of these things right, and you're going to reach nirvana. That's how they describe this. Is there a place to put that in our slides? Does it want us to in our notes? Yeah.
You're actually desiring, you know that?
Say it again?
They're desiring nirvana.
Yeah, that's a good point. So will they ever reach nirvana if they're always desiring nirvana? Nope. Those poor people. It's okay. All right. We're still going to keep talking about it. It's okay. Let's make sure that I don't think there's a place to put that anywhere in here. No.
What about the second step?
That's when we get to Hinduism. We'll get there. Which is right now. So Hinduism. There are 4 goals in life. Yes. 4 goals. First one is karma. I'm sure you guys have heard of the concept of karma. You will be rewarded or punished in the next life because Hinduism, in their religion, they believe in reincarnation. So when you die, you will be reincarnated as something else in the world. Potentially an animal, yeah. It depends on your karma. If you do good things, they're probably going to reincarnate you as a better thing than if you do bad things. So your karma helps you be reincarnated in your next life as something good, bad, so.
Like in Moana, when her grandma dies and
Becomes a stingray? Yeah.
oh, cool.
So karma is the first one. Should write these down this time. Dharma means that you're living up to the duties and obligations of your life. So for you guys as children, your duties and obligation kind of revolve around school at this point and learning and going and getting an education. So as long as you are doing that, you are fulfilling the dharma of your life.
Oh, I thought it was drama.
Nope, not drama. The next one is artha, which is a positive attitude to adapt to environment, to success and be prosperous. So basically having a positive outlook on life, and you'll get some good things coming back for you, like karma. They all kind of go together. And our final one is moksha. Are we doing good over there? We're surviving? I don't know who that was, but
That was Gabriel.
Gabriel. I guess you guys have it right there, don't you?
Yeah.
All right. So moksha is the act of reaching an enlightened state of happiness due to proper living and self-restraint. So this is again very similar to nirvana, just in the Hindu religion instead of Buddha religion. So let's go ahead and go over to our PowerPoint and type those in. So it's on still slide number 1. And you just got to scroll over to Hinduism a little bit, and we're going to type our 4 things. The first one was what? What's the first rule? Karma. Good. Okay, karma. Give you a second to type that out.
How can I really even see?
Because your eyes are not good.
Oh,
It's just how eyesight is.
oh man.
At least we have ways to fix it now. Yeah. Do you think in ancient India they wore glasses?
I don't think so.
No, they did not. So karma is our first one. What's our second one? Dharma, good. Dharma. Dharma was our second one, where you're living up to your duties. So for people that their goal was to protect parts of ancient India, their duty, their dharma, was to be a warrior, that type of thing.
Oh, like also like the Black Panthers.
Yeah,
They protecting their village by doing that invisible thing.
yeah, they have obligations to their village to protect it, right? Say it again. I don't know if they're Hindu. I don't think they are. But it's also, I don't think it's real. So I don't know what religion they would follow. We could look it up later. Our third one was what?
I base everything on
Artha, good. Huh?
I base everything on
I can tell. I've noticed. Artha was our next one. This one was more about having a positive attitude in life.
me and my dad watched movies together. Most of the movies my mom doesn't even know what I'm talking about.
And our fourth one. What's our last one here? Moksha. Moksha? I think it's moksha. So that one is like, it's basically a state of nirvana just for Hindus, but rather than Buddhists. So it's basically reaching the highest state of happiness. If you were thinking about Christian religions, like Christians or Mormons, Catholics, where do they believe their state of happiness falls? Heaven. So you're on the right track. They have the God, but heaven is where they believe that they go if they're good in the world, right? So yeah, I'm not very religious, so there's our 4 right there. Do we need a second to keep typing, or are we good? Good. How you guys doing on this end? Still good?
On the other end of the
Good. Alrighty. Okay, so let's look at our next one then. We have got back to Buddhism. So we're going back to Buddhism. This one talks about souls that have not reached nirvana. A soul that has not reached nirvana, or this highest level of like happiness, they will continue to be reborn into society. So they'll be reincarnated until they basically get it right and end up in nirvana.
So they're basically
Yeah, it's almost like a do-over, yeah. You just keep doing it until, it's like Groundhog Day. Probably not like a game for them, but yeah. Yeah,
It's like it kind of replays you over and over and
yeah,
over
you're
again.
getting reborn.
But how are they gonna redo that? Do they just get reborn?
Well, they believe in reincarnation, so they believe that when you die, you're reborn into a different being, whether it's a, I don't know. Maybe you don't I don't know for sure. Maybe they believe that you don't reincarnate if you reach nirvana, because you just stay at nirvana, like in heaven to them.
This is really weird. Like I'm getting confused. Like how are they supposed to redo the person? Like
I'm not entirely sure. This is ancient religion. I can't give you a lot of answers. I'm sorry.
I wish we had a scientist here.
Scientists wouldn't know. You'd need an archaeologist.
I guess that.
The next part says, where one soul is reborn is based on the actions in your past soul's life. So basically what you do in this life right now will determine how you are reborn in the next life. So for example, if you make bad choices, your soul may go from a human and be turned into an animal. And in this case, that's your karma. It depends on if you like animals or not, I guess. But to them, they don't. A lot of people in India don't value animals, I guess you could say. Like, you won't see someone in India that has a dog as a pet. That's just not something that they do. They believe that dogs are dirty and that you shouldn't have them in your household.
Aww.
So, yeah, I know. There's a lot of stray dogs in India. So for them, being reborn as a dog is not going to be looked upon as great because they view them as dirty. Does that make sense? Okay, let's go type that over here while we're talking.
There was some movie that I saw, and there was an Indian guy that was in the army, and he was trying to shoot a dog because the U.S. Army had it as a pet.
Yeah, because he didn't believe in having a dog as a pet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he tried to kill it.
Yeah, it's sad. So our first blank there. A soul that has not reached nirvana will continue to be reborn. That's the second slide. We're gonna get as far as we can. Oh, yeah.
This is fun though. These is fun. I'm not saying one already. All the way over here, they hung up.
All right, let's look at our next one. Sorry, the phone rang and then they hung up. Rude. Huh?
Yeah, rude people with the W. Rude with the W. Rude.
Uh-huh. Let's stay focused, Yoshi.
What if we had a punishment to talk like someone from Australia for one day?
I don't think that'd be a punishment. I think it'd just be funny. Our next blank there is the actions. So the actions that you have in this life will affect how you are reborn. Ooh, sorry. In the next one. All right, keep clicking and on accident. And then, so for example, if you make bad choices.
Their thoughts are kind of weird.
That's unfortunate. Maybe you'll come back again as an animal that won't be food.
Oh, yeah.
So if you make bad choices, your soul may go from human to animal, and that's called your what? Karma. That's karma in action. Okay, so there's those 4 from that slide. Take a drink. I bet.
Wait, then what's the other one?
What other one?
Their thoughts are kind of weird.
Was it bad? Action?
Actions.
Miss Jones, their thoughts are kind of weird.
Thoughts are weird?
Yeah, like thinking they get reborn again a lot.
Mm-hmm. It would be interesting. I don't know how that would really work, but karma.
Have you seen the movie Call of the Wild?
Yeah, I think we went and saw that for our AR party last year.
What's that?
The one where the dog's name is Buck.
Yep.
I just watched it on Saturday.
That's pretty good. All right, let's go look at our next slide. This one is Hinduism again. Oh my gosh, why does it continue? There we go. Our next one. Hinduism. So just like Buddhism, Hinduism teaches that reincarnation, so being reborn, takes place until the soul reaches moksha. So basically exactly how Buddhists are reborn until they reach nirvana, Hinduism, or Hindus as they're called, will be reborn until they make it to moksha. So it's the same concept. Souls are reborn based on karma as well. So if you live a good life, you will be rewarded for it. And if you do not, you will move down.
Doesn't that mean someone from ancient India still could be getting reborn a lot?
That's true. If someone from ancient India is such a bad person that they can't make it to moksha, then they're just being reborn, and they could be one of us in this room right now.
Yeah. It's me.
So maybe it's Yoshi.
Oh, what?
I don't know. You just talk.
Maybe he has no idea. Maybe he doesn't know. Maybe he doesn't remember what it was like.
I don't get this.
It's possible. All right, let's fill this out. So Hinduism. Yeah, Charlie. Yeah. Sure. I'll probably have everybody finish them on their own if we don't finish anyway. So, like Buddhism, Hinduism teaches that reincarnation takes place until a soul reaches what? What was it called?
Moksha.
I think it's moksha.
Yeah, that makes more sense.
It's the same way that they're reborn in Buddhism, they're also reborn in Hinduism.
It sounds like a Russian word, kind of.
Mm-hmm.
Moksha.
Okay, so type that one. And our next one, souls are reborn based on their karma. If you live a good life, you will be what?
Rewarded.
Rewarded. Good. Yoshi. You don't need to figure out how to say it right now. Okay, so those are the two for that slide. Moksha and rewarded. I think we'll be able to finish it. I don't know, it's kind of a lot.
There's 7 slides.
Mm-hmm.
Can I go get a drink real quick?
Yes, you can go get a drink. Okay, I'm gonna go look at the next slide. This one goes back to Buddhism again. I will probably not be able to say some of these words very well, just so you know. So Buddhism was founded by Siddhartha Gautama, which was a prince whose father ruled over Sakya, the people of modern-day Nepal. So that's just the area that he was in. He was ordered to live a life of seclusion until he ventured out to see how much suffering was in the world. He committed his life to helping people end their suffering by giving up material attachments. Let me write down his name so I can spell it right. Siddhartha. That's Siddhartha Gautama, I believe. So this dude, who I'm assuming is Siddhartha Gautama, was a prince in the area that is now modern-day Nepal, which is close to India, like kind of like above it a little bit. But basically, he was told he had to live a life all alone until he left finally to go see that the world was just suffering, that we don't live in the greatest world ever. And then he, after that, committed his life to helping people end their own suffering. So he helped them get rid of their material attachments that were causing them pain and told them to take up the way of Buddhism, basically. Okay, let's go type that out. So we're on slide 3 right here. So Buddhism was founded by Siddhartha Gautama. Quite an interesting name. Okay, and he was a prince in modern day what? What area? It's a little bit above India, so we're gonna end.
Could you go up to the top so I can see what you were writing?
It's just this one.
Okay.
Yep. No, Nepal. Okay, sorry. Hold up.
I also had to get some M&Ms that have fudge in them.
There we go. That sounds really good. I think they might be new, yeah. That sounds really good. I bought M&M cookies yesterday, and they're so good.
Have you tried the M&M fudge?
You don't know what an M&M cookie is? It's literally just a cookie with M&Ms in
I never ate it.
it. Okay, we're gonna move on from that. Okay, so get those ones typed out.
99, I'll get everything down.
I never believed you got everything that you wanted.
I know.
Okay, let's get those two typed out. All right, I'm gonna go look at the next slide. Oh, let's see. I can't read it. So our next one, Hinduism. There is no one single person who founded the religion of Hinduism. It began as a culture and a way of life and just was never based on one person discovering it. Okay? So we have single and culture.
That makes sense. Is it like if you I don't get it that like a little bit.
Which part?
No, like what you're talking about, like this stuff.
They're religions. So it's what people believe.
Oh,
There you go, Yoshi. So these are just two separate religions that were in ancient India. So we're just kind of describing who founded them, what they believed in, and that type of stuff.
Wait, my thing has three lines on it.
It's because they put Siddhartha Gautama on two separate lines because it's a name. So there's no single founder.
So can I just delete that real quick
Mm-hmm.
and write that the other one back down?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
And it began as a culture.
Miss Jones.
Yep.
Is this all we're gonna do for science? I mean, not science, social studies.
Yeah, it will be today. Yep.
So if we're done with it, can we just leave?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
Okay. Who was that, Elijah?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Lucky for you guys here, you have to sit with me the whole time.
Uh-huh.
I'm great. What are you talking about? Okay, so take about 10 more seconds, get these two typed in. All right.
We're gonna do the bottom of it too.
Yep, the next part's the bottom. So back to Buddhism. It originated in India, which is why we're talking about it in regards to ancient India, but then it later spread to China along some different trade routes. So we've talked about how these ancient civilizations used to trade with each other. They also spread their religion that way too.
And like Mesopotamia.
Mesopotamia would trade too, yep.
Grain for gold or something.
Things along those lines, yeah. Maybe not always grain for gold, but yeah. So we're still on that same slide. We'll just scroll down a little bit. So it originated in India. We're gonna try and finish this before we go today. I think we can do it.
That's just okay. What does KIA stand for?
KIA.
There you go. I got it.
What is it?
Divination.
Oh. That doesn't have anything to do with what we're talking about.
I know.
Stay focused, Yoshi.
I just thought of it.
Okay, well. Keep the random thoughts inside for now, at least during the lesson. Okay, so our next one is spread along trade routes. Oh, I didn't get all of India. A few. So I'm gonna go ahead and keep going. Next one, back to Hinduism. Guess where it also originated? India. And it mostly stayed within India. So Hinduism has not spread as much as Buddhism has. Okay, so we'll type that one on the other side, India. Because that is where it originated.
My thing that says originated in India and the rest of it's not on it.
I don't have an answer. Scroll down.
Yeah, I'm in that box where you're at.
Did you delete it?
I didn't.
Okay, it's fine. Just put originated in India. It's fine.
Yeah, it already says originated in India.
Okay, then just leave it.
Okay. Can I delete the line?
Sure. I'm not gonna micromanage how you type your stuff. Let's look at our next slide. We're gonna keep chugging along so that we can hopefully finish this by tomorrow or today. So next time we have some more Buddhism stuff. It just keeps going back and forth. So this is the way to get to salvation, which is like nirvana. So the goal in Buddhism is to reach nirvana, which is the perfect state of happiness and a balance in your life. To get there, followers must let go of all of their desires. So they can't desire anything in life anymore. No more cravings. They can't have any material attachments. So things like money, clothes, well, they wear clothes, but like books and things like that, like they just kind of have to get rid of them because these types of things cause suffering. And their goal is to get rid of their suffering so that they can reach nirvana. Okay? So that is, it's not that they're poor, it's that they choose to live a life where they don't buy and sell things, basically. Yeah.
So they can't buy food at all.
They have food, yes. I don't know how it works in ancient India. We could look at nowadays, but I don't know for sure. So that next slide, the goal in Buddhism is to reach nirvana, which is the perfect state of happiness. Okay, the perfect state of happiness and balance. Oops. What to do? My back hurts from sitting. They did not have video games. They would have had to give them up. I mean, Buddhism is still around, so people that are Buddhists now probably don't play video games, so they don't desire video games. Not always. Also, there's plenty of grown-ups that play video games. I know way too many. So to get to nirvana, followers must let go of all of their desires. Which is all their cravings, any sort of material attachments. Yeah, things like that. Because these things are the cause of suffering. Because the more things that you have, the more you worry about these things, and the more you suffer because you are worrying about these things. Yep.
I'm like, how do they suffer while they buy and have that food?
Okay. All right, ready for the next slide?
No, not yet.
Not yet.
I only need the bottom one.
Okay.
Okay, there you go.
Alrighty, our next one. Going back to Hinduism. This is the way for them to reach salvation or their moksha. The goal in Hinduism is to reach moksha. I keep wanting to say mochi, like that mochi stuff. This is when a soul is freed from the reincarnation cycle. So remember, they think that you're reincarnated over and over and over again until you successfully get to moksha. So once you finally make it, your soul is freed and you don't get reincarnated anymore.
Oh, man.
So to get there, followers live a life of good deeds, so they do good things for people, free from material possessions and personal desires, with a constant devotion or study, devotion, and meditation towards God. So that basically they commit their life to God. They don't have any sort of, they don't really get married, don't have kids. They just devote everything to God. That's how Hinduism does it. If they want to get to moksha. Some people don't follow it that closely. Okay, let's go type that up. So the goal in Hinduism is when the soul is freed from the reincarnation cycle.
Miss Jones, I finished the whole slide.
Oh, sorry. Got a nice one there. You can stay on if you'd like to, but this is all we're doing today. If you want to head out.
Okay, see ya.
See you tomorrow.
Bye.
Bye. Our next one is they do what? Good deeds? No, we're gonna finish the whole thing. I think. So good. Too bad you still have to sit here. So they do good deeds. Yeah, you can turn it in. Yeah, you can turn it in. And then they meditate. We're not done yet, though. We still have 3 more slides. So maybe on the other side of the paper. Or did you get all the other stuff too? Yeah, probably. Okay. How are we doing on this side of things? Doing good? Phil, that's a good question. If Phil asked, do they have to be, do you mean like, do they have to be Buddhism or do they have to be Hindu? Yeah. I don't actually know the answer to that question, but I know that in India nowadays, most are one or the other. There's not really, you're either Buddhism or Buddhist or you're Hindu, or you leave the country, from what I understand about it. So I'm assuming that back then in ancient India, you probably had to be one or the other. Yeah. All right, let's keep going. We're gonna get through it. Our next one, Buddhism, again. Buddhism is viewed as a way of life and not a religion, so Buddhists do not believe in God. I didn't actually know that one. They don't believe in God. And then the Siddhartha Gautama, he founded the religion, right? But he's not an actual God. They don't believe that he is God. Charlie? You get to sit there and listen. Yep. You can finish up your stuff from this morning too if you need to. Then yeah, you get to sit here and listen. No, you should be typing. Because he went ahead. Okay, let's type this on slide number 5. So Buddhism is viewed as a way of life, not a religion. Buddhists do not believe in God. They don't believe in God. And the person that founded the religion is not a god. They don't look up to him as if he is a god. He just founded the religion and they follow his teachings. Okay. I don't think it looks too complicated. Okay, bye Gabriel. See you later. All right, our next slide there. Hinduism. Some say that Hinduism has many gods, while others say that it has just one. Okay, you'll be able to see it when I go back. Their main god is called Brahman, which we've talked about in the caste system part of it. They're the highest level in the caste system, so they're the most highly regarded people. Then there's some other people other gods that they believe. There's Vishnu, the preserver, Shiva, the destroyer, and Ganesha, remover of obstacles. So those are some of the gods that they believe in. And let's type it out. So some say that Hinduism has many gods. Some others say that there is only one God.
Are you on the second side? Hindu?
Yeah, we're on Hinduism.
I need the bottom piece, the bottom one.
I haven't written it yet.
Oh,
We didn't do the bottom box yet either.
oh, okay.
The main god was called Brahman. I'm just gonna leave that line. Okay, we're almost done. Might not be able to finish it, but I'm gonna have you guys finish it anyway.
So this is the last one?
No, not yet. We're gonna go until 1:30.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm. All right. Our next slide.
We made probably.
So these are just a couple of the Hindu gods that they believe in. I don't know which ones are which, to be honest.
Oh,
They believe in a lot of different gods. Kind of like how in Mesopotamia they believed that there was a different god for different things. It's very similar in Hindu religion. Okay, in Buddhism, the followers are known as Buddhists, and there are approximately 350 million of them throughout the world, like nowadays. That's about 6% of the whole population of the world.
this is still a lifetime, right?
Yeah.
So they still do it nowadays?
Yep. Buddhism is still around nowadays, so is Hinduism. It's an ancient religion that's just been followed for a really long time. Okay, so if we type that one out, our bottom box here, there are approximately, how many did I just say? 350, not 59, 350 million people throughout the world still follow Buddhism. And that is what percent of the world? Good, 6%. Good, give you 10 seconds to write that. Take a drink.
On the other side.
Yep, now we'll look at Hindu. Okay, so for Hinduism, it didn't present. This one says that there are about 1 billion people throughout the world. So that's about 3 times the amount of Buddhists. Almost exactly. And it's about 15% of the entire population of the world, which is a lot.
That is.
Yep. So about 1 billion people and about 15% of the population of the world.
We only have so much to do. We only have a little bit now.
I think we're going to finish it.
Yes, we are.
Yeah, we'll be good. Okay. So 1 and 15 on there. Still doing good on online, people? Good.
Yeah, I'm good.
Just checking on you. Let's look at the next slide. We've got back to Buddhism. I don't know how to say this. Tripitaka, I think. I don't know. Tripitaka. Monks are the people that follow Buddhist religion. That's what they're called. Monks. So this is 3 books that are compiled by monks after the death of Gautama that explain the teaching of Buddha. So the Tripitaka is like their Bible, basically. The readings that they follow. Okay?
So it's kind of like the people also like the karate kid, like the old one.
I haven't seen that since I was like 8. I don't know. Sorry, I don't think I watch as many movies as you, Yoshi.
What about
It's been a long time. Okay, so the Tripitaka is basically the book that they follow that teaches them their religion. So we have Tripitaka. Okay, and this was compiled by monks. So the monks wrote this and brought all of the teachings together so that they could be taught to other people that chose to follow the Buddhist religion. Yep. I think right now it's dragging on, but yes. Sometimes when I teach and do things like this, I'm a little bit like, I think our school day this year goes by faster because we start earlier in the morning. So it feels like it goes faster to me. Hours? Yeah. You have the same amount of time at school. It just is moved earlier in the day. Yeah.
I didn't know we were starting way earlier than before.
We're starting like almost over an hour and a half earlier.
I didn't know that.
All right, our next slide. Back to Hinduism. These are again basically like their Bibles. So we have the Vedas. This is a collection of 4 writings that guide the Hindus in their daily life. So they use the Vedas in their daily life. And then we have the Upanishads. I don't know how to say that. U-P-A-N. And this writing focuses on the reincarnation and the transformation of one's soul. So this is like the karma side of things. If you do bad things, the bad things come back to you, right? So let's type that in. We've done. Yeah. So the Vedas are the 4 writings. Give you a second to type that. My computer's gonna die. I might have to move in a second. Okay, so the Vedas are the first one, and then our second blank there is the Upanishads. Okay, so we get that typed out, the Upanishads. We got one last slide left. We're almost done.
This was actually really funny.
All right, and our final slide here. I don't know if it's the final slide, but this last part, I think it's the final slide. Okay. The concepts of karma and dharma are similar in both faiths, right? We've talked about that. Let me spell things right. Similar. How we have in Buddhism, you strive and your goal is to get to nirvana. In Hinduism, your goal is to get to moksha. So they both have similar goals. Both see karma as the belief that past actions have an impact on the present and future events. So their karma really affects their lives. Good and bad karma. To Buddhists, Dharma represents all the teachings of the Buddha and to live like he did. So Buddhists try to live like Buddha. To Hindus, Dharma is the idea of living a proper life, including prayer and fulfilling responsibilities towards their friends, family, and society. Okay. So they're very similar religions. They just have slightly different beliefs of how things happen, right? So we're going to go type that over there. Our last slide. First part, the concepts of karma and dharma are fairly similar in both faiths.
Did you read something similar?
Yep, I read fast.
I was almost finished.
Sorry. Both see karma as the belief that they impact present and future events. Yeah, when you're done, you can turn it in.
I'm just gonna put this in my desk so I can type it in tomorrow.
That's fine.
I only have the last 2 on the bottom.
Okay, and then our last 2 right here. Dharma represents all the proper. Is that right? Nope, the teachings. Oh, my computer's gonna die. Go get it plugged in. Great timing. So we have teachings, proper, and then responsibilities. So responsibilities. There we go. Yeah, so once you get this completely typed up, you can get it turned in. If you are online, you are good to go once you're done, and you can turn it in, and I will see you tomorrow at 8:30 for ELA. Okay? And my computer's going to die, so those of you on